Hello, we have an EPSON printer here, and the problem with this is double arrow light is flashing. You can see this double arrow light. This has been flashing, and once this is flashing this way, it is impossible for you to use the printer because the printer will not be able to function in this error state, especially when it is the double light that is flashing. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to correct this problem. Don't worry, this is an easy fix. It's just a misalignment somewhere between the mechanisms of this printer. So I'll show you how to rectify this issue so that you can go ahead and use the printer the way you want to. Now ensure that there is no paper under here before we start up anything. That is the first thing you want to check, and remove any paper within the paper input area. Now, to correct this issue, I have turned off this printer. Then I'm going to open the top lid of this printer to access the printed area. Now you're going to check carefully just to be sure that there is no paper that is hanging anywhere inside the printer, because sometimes paper lodges inside here. So we are going to, with my hand, I will just check that area, spin. There is a gear here that I'm going to spin a couple of times so that it will roll out any paper or any debris that might be stuck inside this area, because if there's anything that is stuck inside this area, this is going to give you that double arrow light issue. So I'm going to spin it a couple of times or several times as the case may be, just to be sure that number one, it is free, and number two, it is not stuck, and there is no debris or no objects like piece of paper, safety pin, office pin that is lodged within this area. Those are normally the particles that get lodged within this area and is going to give you that double light error. So if you check your own printer and you discover that you don't have any paper or any debris lodged within this area, the next thing you want to do is to check the paper input area. The paper input area, that is the most important part. Now I've checked all this area. There is no paper, there is no debris, there is no dust. Everything appears to be fine here. And when you look under the paper, at the paper output area, no paper is lodged under the area. So what we're going to look next is this area, inside this area. Now when you check this area, you're going to see a white gear here. What you want to do is to put your finger in that gear and spin that gear towards you. That is anti-clockwise. You're going to spin it anti-clockwise. So I'm going to turn it anti-clockwise several times till it becomes free or till it keys into place. What happens is that as you begin to use the printer, over time that gear over there will get misaligned, and once it gets misaligned, it will bring out that double arrow light. So I'm going to spin it several times till it realigns itself again. You can see, if you look closely, you will discover there is a white gear here. It is present in all model of EPSON printer. Just put your finger in between and spin several times. Once you spin it several times, it is going to realign itself. Okay, so I'm going to spin several times until I notice that this has realigned itself. Alright, so I have spun this several times and these are keyed into place. What I'm going to do is to return the paper in the paper input area. I'm going to power on my printer now, and when you look closely, you discover that it's trying to initialize. So let's see if the double error light is going to disappear or to still remain the way it is. So look closely at this end. So you notice that the error light is still flashing. So that means the alignment, it has not been aligned properly. So I also put my finger into that area and still spin several times again. Now what you want to achieve when you spin this is to key it back into place the way you ought to be. So I'm going to spin several times again, then I'll place my paper back in there. So now I'm going to power off the printer again and ensure that there is no paper here and there is no debris here again. So we're going to put our paper back again. Remember, what we'll have to do is just to locate that paper input area and spin the gear over there several times. That is going to resolve the issue. So I'm going to power on this printer now and let's see if the problem is solved. So it is initializing. Alright, you can see it has gone to ready state. So at this state now, I can print out anything I want on this printer. So you can see there is no light, error light is not blinking any longer. The problem has been solved. So I'm going to do a test print. Just an empty test print. I'm not really printing out anything. It's just to show you that the error has been corrected and the printer has gone back to ready state where you can print out anything. So you can see that this is printing out normally the way it ought to. In case you haven't done already, like and subscribe to the channel. I have great videos on how to fix all kinds of office equipment, from printers to laptops, desktops, and all kinds of equipment that can be found within the office environment. So this problem has been solved, and what I did was to spin this gear just to ensure that there is no paper lodged in. You can see this white gear here. I spin it several times so that it will roll out any debris or any dust or any piece of paper that is lodged within this area. So that is the white gear there that you are going to spin several times, just to be sure there is no paper or no object that is lodged in this part of the printer. Thank you for watching. I'll see you some other time.